Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. Apologies there about the little delay, just had to actually put the links out onto Discord, etc. So I do hope you're all doing well. I'm just going to go ahead and bring the game up here in a microsecond, like so. Hey, didn't have Van Bishop, good to have you, my man. Looking great. Hello there, Jackalus, good to have you too. Right, so I've gone ahead and actually altered the GUI, I guess you could call it, the actual UI scaling. So we're at 125% now. So it should actually be, in theory, a little bit easier to see things, which is quite cool. So that's always a good thing there, really. But this is the Stalingrad to Berlin campaign. I have been continuing this on my own channel. I imagine a lot of you that do enjoy one of these two will be aware of that fact. So yes, it has been a pretty interesting scenario so far. We had some interesting occurrences over here at Stalingrad. Yeah, it didn't go as well as I would have preferred it to have gone, really. So if I go ahead and bring up the actual text over here, we did have what remained of a perimeter around here. How you doing there, Sarge? Oh, we got Sarge. How you doing there, Sarge? Good to have you, my man. Yeah, so we did have what was a perimeter effectively around here, and this didn't go all that well. We lost Stalingrad in the week before, unfortunately, and then we had a number of forces actually route out of here. So you can see there's 22nd Panzer retreat. Obviously, these forces retreated. The ones that routed were over here, but it was actually pretty good going for us. Not exactly. Oh yeah, that's a major difference in the UI size there. That's, you don't have to squint. That's good. That's good. I don't need mega glasses now. Ah, I got G. How you doing there, Gary? Gary? Oh, George? I saw the G and I defaulted. Yeah, so they routed out of there. We did have a Romanian division shattered over here, which is not too surprising. They were attacked by 40,000 men, 2,620 men there in level 1 fort, so they didn't have anything really. 71st Infantry Division retreated there, managed to hold over here, but they were then attacked twice more, and then they finally routed. But the actual ironic aspect of all of this is that, well, some of them are depleted, some of them are, well, the majority are depleted already, but I do have some divisions that were routed out of the pocket and actually are viable, really. So we can actually use those, really. So I'm not that disappointed. Obviously, we did suffer in terms of losses there. We had 21,420 killed, 4,700 there captured, 6,500 disabled. But it could have been far, far worse. If we take a look at the actual ground losses over here, then you can see that we... so this is during that turn there, really. So it's not that much higher than normal. The issue is obviously the Soviet losses have reduced as well, but the good news is we do have a divisions outside there, and ideally I can get the rest out. We should be able to do that. Unready divisions are not what you want, I can assure you of that one. Yeah, those guys don't have all that much in the way of mobility. The 29th Motorized Division actually does. They can, interestingly enough, they go from 1 to 21 there. That's a very big difference. That could actually let me do quite a bit there. And they are on the same side of the river there. That's actually pretty, that's actually pretty interesting. I may actually have the opportunity then to attack the 29th Rifle Division. Maybe able to get more of these guys out of here. I kind of doubt that though, but I've really just got to make sure they can get out. They're likely going to come under attack again, but if I can actually make sure that at least more of them have moved south, we might be able to do something there. The situation elsewhere, I mean, we are going to go ahead and actually pull out from the Kaban. Well, I floated the idea initially upon starting the campaign, and I kind of regret not going for that, because I was like, yeah, the Kaban it's not worthwhile holding, but I'm like, maybe it is, and then it's not really been worth it. It hasn't cost us per se, but it's more so the opportunity cost. I ended up losing the initiative, unfortunately, after the fall of Rosneft, which was actually pretty unexpected. It routed a division over here after I'd actually gone to the effort to try and reinforce it, so that was a bit of an irony. Over here, we did pull back, and we abandoned the city of Asma, and we took up more defensible positions here, really. Let me go ahead and just, I want to just show the actual ground conditions weather sometimes is a little bit much. We're not exactly using much in the way of air power here anyway. Indeed, when in doubt. Exactly. I think I'll be playing Dojo in the future. That does seem to be it. He did mention it in his stream. I think it was last night, actually, so that's good. That's very good. Right, so we've got the ground. Right, there we are. Okay. Over here in the north, we have been trying to build up additional divisions here and there. I've tried to pull off what I could from the front and have them essentially... Yeah, I'm just trying to really build up. I had... Yeah, I'd moved forward the 225th Division there. I regretted that. I kind of wish I'd kept them there to have them actually build up there. Yeah, tell me about it there, George. Indeed. Yeah, so things are getting relatively interesting over here. We did manage to take some of the actual territory that the Soviets had abandoned over here. I mean, this is it. Got to be a little bit vicious sometimes with them. We did surround a cord over here with the actual forces of the 3rd Panzer Army. We're going to have them deal with that cord in the turn to come, and then we can go ahead and start withdrawing more forces. We did move a 5th Panzer Division over here to just go up there to essentially recover, really. So they're on refit. I could do again another HQ into these areas there for the extra capacity. We did move another... these guys were moved during the last turn. I do wonder if I can go ahead and get away with putting them on refit, perhaps. I might be able to go ahead and do that. Maybe. It might actually be a better idea to have them refit around Golovka and Akiva. I don't know how you want to pronounce that. Ah, yeah, playbook. I don't know about that. It's more so like for me to familiarize myself with the actual elements of the campaign more fully, really. A lot of them I didn't, because obviously just playing the game, really. You learn as you go. But I think when I play by email, due to the actual nature of the game, you do definitely have to up said game. Do know, by the way, we are seeing rivers frozen over here in the Ukraine. Or Ukraine. I got into trouble for saying the Ukraine the other day. I best not tell people I'm from the United Kingdom. Okay, so how are we going to go ahead and do this? I think about 2-3 divisions would be more than sufficient to hold Crimea over here. The Kerch over here should be more than enough. I do have the 15th Luftwaffe Field Division over here. We do have elements of... There's about 2 Romanian mounted divisions in here. So I can go ahead and deal with those. They've been digging in here, but their construction value is not exactly hot. Yeah, 6 there. Yeah, so I think about 3 German divisions to hold Kerch would be probably more than sufficient. The Luftwaffe field divisions, we do have additional ones moving down here ultimately. But then I have that one there, which is a full... Well, it's not really full division, it's not up to that full level there. But I think what I would go ahead and do then is probably retain the Romanian mountains just for the time being, really. And then we would have the Crimea more or less locked down. I then need to concern myself with Odessa, etc., and making sure these are actually kept under control, but I think that'd be entirely possible. So yeah, let's go ahead and get the show on the road here, really. I've been up and on about the movement here for quite some time. Need to get it up and in motion, really. Okay. Now, in terms of when I have my actual freight stockpiled, I've got 16k out there. And there's 2,500 over here at Krasnodar. So really we're going to have forces march this way, where they're going to be closer to the actual supplies, but it doesn't particularly matter all that much. What I'm going to go ahead and actually do then is have this set as a high priority depot. This one can go down to a normal priority. These guys, I mean, they actually managed to get some freight out here, which is pretty good, in fact. So I'm going to go ahead and place them down at 0. Have that freight withdrawn from there. That's going to be the idea. It's a shame to lose my cop, but it doesn't matter too much. We'll return here to the command in the near future, really. Well, once we have a good weather, that is. Yeah. It'd be more than sufficient to really hold it, which should be fine. The Crimea, that is. Okay. In fact, that one... it's luckily that we actually do have a little bit of freight here. So, in fact, I can keep these guys on normal priority. That's fine by me. Yeah, and then they can pull out that way. Okay, then. So, I need to do this in a particular way, then. I want to reform the actual division so they are together. But I need to go by the weakest link, really. Jaeger divisions are interesting. Being the light infantry, they are pretty wild. I mean, if we take a look at their total numbers there, they should be at 13,000. Obviously, they're down to 6-7 at the moment. Yeah, but they're a lighter infantry division. They don't tend to have as much in the way of artillery. They're kind of like what the Luftwaffe Field Division is, but these guys have more artillery than the Luftwaffe Field Divisions. It's pretty interesting. Oh, George, that's gross. That's gross, man. Oh, my. Ah, that's TMI. Oh, dear. Okay. Have a 46 Infantry Division there. Now, I'm going to keep headquarters over here then. And in fact, I might as well just have a march that way. We could move along the rail line, in fact, but I would... that might be a good option in this area, because it's not going to matter much about the freight. But then again, no, if I can march, I think I'm probably better off marching. Okay. These forces can head that way. Okay. I don't know what you mean there, Sarge. What disasters? He's done a good job, in fairness. I mean, it is pretty difficult to go from Moscow, and it can definitely go wrong. Definitely can. Okay, so these construction battalions need to return there. I will have... I think I'll probably keep a Cossack unit. Yeah, I think I'll have the Cossacks just occupy Mykop for the time being. So we do have heavy woods around here, in fact. I think I'll just have them occupy that temporarily. Or just actually in the area. And then at least I don't lose it immediately. But then again, does it actually matter? I don't think it really much matters there, does it? Might be worthwhile to have some Holden forces, though. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do that then. So when I actually do have some forts or something of that nature, we'll go for that. Cavalry units can pull out fairly quickly, so that's fine by me. Yeah, just so I can project that zone of control, really. These guys don't matter all that much. That'll work out fine. Heavy woods there. Yeah, but I'll have one in Mykop there just to make sure it doesn't fall. At least not this turn. These forces can begin going that way then. Form up the Mountaineers. They're the Jaegers anyway. Yeah, they're in contact with the enemy, which isn't helpful. They also have a forest to go through in the rough terrain with no road. Well, they do have a poor road, so it's not ideal for them. So we'll have them form up over that way. I could have them as divisions, well, as regiments move forward, but I'm going to keep them together. Yeah, well, never mind for that one. I can't combine them right now. I think Dojo could probably win. It really depends, like, the AI is not good at delivering a killing blow, so I think he can recover. I think there's definitely that possibility there. He's not a bad player. I mean, just work under the circumstances that are in front of you, really. Okay, they can head that way. These guys can head that way. So I've got 73rd Division there. Yeah, I can move to the swamp over that way. Though I do have that, so I'll follow from there. They, well, I've actually got the rail down there, so I could actually go ahead and just have a depot set up here, just temporarily. Just to make sure that I can have just that freight there. Might even draw out that way. It doesn't really much matter, to be honest. Okay. Then 73rd can be rebuilt over here. Yeah, and then they can go. I mean, I could even just sit them in the swamp, but they're in, well, they're in clear terrain, in fact. So I'm going to go ahead and set that down to a 0. They can head there. 9th then. We'll get the 9th moving out here then. Yeah, exactly. Nah, it'd be fun. It's a shame that the 50th divisions that have just arrived here then have to be moved out, but that's okay. In terms of cores, I can arrange for a core out this way. German core would be ideal, but the German core needs to head that way with the rest of the 17th Army. I said 3 divisions. I'm gonna commit to that 3 division. I do actually have another core there. I could probably work things out then. But yeah, what do we have here then? So they have some artillery. Yeah, they don't really have all that much. So I think I will have them head out this way. And then at least we have that properly accounted for in the Crimea. So we'll go with that. I mean, in all honesty, attacking across a strait is really horrific. 2 divisions would be pretty sufficient, I would imagine, to be honest. So what I'll probably do is like have a 3rd one just behind the lines, really. I could even have the 3rd one split into regiments and have them like begin to dig in certain places. Something of that nature. Or even just have the 1 division and then the 2 divisions here. Which might be, yeah, that might not be a bad idea at all, to be honest. They could just sit there and fortify those positions. Maybe even on reserve, either or, really. And as far as it goes to the Kerch Peninsula here, this is the best you can get. This is 1 hex. I mean, you could even defend on this side over here. You do definitely have the capability to do that. And having the swamp over here is actually really quite awesome. But the thing is with this is you are on... Well, you can have supply transit across the actual freight. Sorry, you can have freight move across the actual straits. And there's also ports over this way. But then it's 3 divisions and the enemy can just simply amass forces if they wish. Granted, it's good to be in a swamp, but I'd rather be across the straits and dig in there. It means that they can only bring so many forces to bear at once, and there's nothing they can do about that. They can't move it more favorably in that direction. Alright, so they can go there. Combine them. Have them reassigned there. Okay. Now these guys can move this way. Yeah, exactly. I might want to take... No, too late at this point, but that's fine. What about... Kreshadar being urban there. I may have the 198th, and they can't move that much further, so I think I'll have them just set up in Kreshadar. At least then, that holds there. They can move that a little bit further then. So do have the Panzer Corps here. Okay. What I'm going to go ahead and do then is have these guys assigned to the 17th Army proper. Like so. Yeah. They can head that way. I actually, in fact, probably do want to keep something there. I've got that core. I might want to go ahead and get the FPD moved out, fairness. If that would be a good idea. So, why would I want that? Shlina would be a good idea. I think because of the connections. Kharkov could also be a good option. God, I can't speak sometimes. I think Shalino, actually no, then again, it's one of those of like, Kharkov just has that raw capacity there at 90. Shalino, Yeah, has only a third of that. I think Kharkov then. But I mean, which, you know, you actually get... I might be saying it wrong. I'm trying it like that for once here. But we do have... let's see. 1, 2, 3... it's not as attractive actually as it first appears. I mean, granted there's a fourth one over here, but I'm only really counting the jewel as being worthwhile. You do also have the cities in the area as well, like Golovka has 10k, and that's another 10k there. So it's like taken together, that's like 50k. But Kharkov, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. I think Kharkov would be worthwhile. I think that could be a pretty decent position, I guess. The idea being with the FPD, just been essentially to utilize that, have it able to pump the freight out really where it's needed, to be honest. Actually, no, I don't know, but again, this could be quite useful. I don't know, hard one to say. Ultimately, it comes down to the fact that we don't really have that much in the way of rail lines out here, so you are working with limited capacity. So I think Kharkov. I think just getting the most out of that rail. Oh, George. So vulgar. Okay, what's the load cost of this guy? That's a bit of a heavy load cost, isn't it? How the rail lines actually looking in this area? Yeah, so you can see where the stress is here. Maybe it might be worth it down here. I don't know, what do you guys reckon? I guess in some ways as well, Kharkov may not actually require it. Yeah, I think actually no. I think actually no. I think due to the fact that it's obviously lower capacity than Kharkov, so Kharkov can operate at its own right there. I guess we'll have to see, really. I think if I go... I could even temporarily go for Rostov. Rostov has some pretty good rail capacity there. And at least then I'm not... I don't know, it's one of those, isn't it? Because they're moving freight between Rostov and, you know... Well, really, I want the freight moving that way. I guess it's simply one of those where it doesn't all that much matter, to be honest. Right, these guys are going to come off the rails. And then they can walk across there. I don't want to stress the rails any more than needed. And they're close enough in the area that, yeah, it can be workable. The issue as well, I do have a 370th and the 111th there. We do have Slovakian mobile as well. And I could move them up the rail, but the thing is, this can only handle 12,000, and I really don't want to just have that all used up by... Yeah. I mean, that one there. No, they can walk. Or they can even just be utilized in this area to begin... yeah, I mean, even just digging into this area would be something worthwhile, or just taking up a position, I don't know how I'm going to say, even up over this way. Just as long as we've actually got something to fall back to, then we can actually work with that. At the moment, or even potentially head out this way. Having like an actual solid core out here to at least cover this area would be quite nice. And the big thing to recognize in this area is the fact that it's quite porous. It's a pretty porous front, but that does go both ways. But it's concentration of force, but that's in this area, not so much in this area. So, yeah, we'll see what we can get. I think what I'll go ahead and do then is... I'm going to walk it. Could move it in there, perhaps. I've got the 2 Panzer divisions there. You say Panzer division... Well, that one's actually not bad. That's not bad. Did that take on some freight then? I think it must have done. No. Huh. They're just generally looking great. I could transfer them out if I wanted to, but I'm not going to do that. Yeah, quite a few admin failures. Okay. Yeah, they have a lot of men here. And if you take a look, we did try to hold a perimeter, but yeah. 64,000, 40,000, 40,000? 44,000, 44,000, 43,000, 12,000 that time, 36,000, 32 there, 13 that time, 32,000, 65,000. That being the big one there, that really hurt. That did hurt. Yeah, difficulty of the fact that we're being attacked from multiple directions. But we did have many of the forces actually come out, so we're relatively okay. What I'm going to go ahead and actually do then is, like, the divisions that are available, I think I'm going to get them sort of positioned then. All of these divisions routed out, so that's pretty good. We'll be able to get the rest out, I'd imagine. Or at least to some extent we'll be able to get more out. But yeah, all of these divisions attached to the 16th Army routed out. So that routed, those routed out. So let's see, 1, 4, 5, 6 there. So I think about 6 or so divisions, possibly some more actually, made it outside the pocket. Oh, maybe 7 divisions there. Something of that sort of number routed out of there then. Sarge, you sassy. Okay, these guys can march up that way. I'm going to have them move over here to Azov, perhaps. Would I even... well, cavalry could go over here to defend that depot. I think that might be worthwhile. I think for these panzer divisions then... well, let's start over here then, because if I can get these forces in some sort of semblance of order, then I can sort of dictate how things will occur then, really. We do have this artillery division over here. I think I could win that. I think I could beat that. Hard to say entirely. Should be manageable enough. I shall try and free up this this over here then, so it's not that it's under control then, so they can move that way. We do see guards rifle corps out here. Yeah, the mechanized corps there. There's a lot of force, tank corps there, mechanized corps, armored corps. There's a lot. Armored corps is actually a game I've never played. That's something I just thought there. Okay. I still don't know where the 4th it's over there. Yeah, wee bit out there. These guys are fortunately isolated as our own. But if I could try to get that out of there, that would help. I am going to try it, but they're not ready at the moment, which is not exactly ideal. Could they make it? I don't have that much faith. It might be worthwhile moving the panzer there. Make sure it is done. I think they'd be able to manage it, but I just have about as little faith as you can imagine. I'd really like to believe it's possible. I really would. And in fairness, I should probably have... it doesn't have that much. I've got to deal with this anyway. Ooh. I do sure hope it works, to be honest. Oh, okay, that's... not especially ideal, really. I've got to admit on that one. Not ideal. Yeah, I mean, we do have forces that can push up there. I did want to clear that. I wanted to force them to surrender, but I guess they actually need something a little bit more substantial there. Right, Romanian forces... I need to believe that they can do this. And I've got the Romanian divisions there. Okay, how is that looking? Right, surely 4 Romanian divisions can take this. I just need this out of the way, and I need to make sure it happens. Yeah, that's doomed. Yeah, okay. Well. Yeah, okay. That was not the ideal outcome, I must admit. Because that kind of ruined the effectiveness of 3 divisions there. And I still didn't even get them out. God damn, okay, that was not fun. That was not fun. Ah, yeah, I mean, that's what happens when you have a rifle corps there. I do wonder what you actually have within an artillery division. Don't say artillery. I had about 20 of those, 152. And that's a fair amount of firepower. That's a fair amount. Okay, well, that didn't go as desired. Yeah. Apparently they could manage that, but who knows? How you doing now, Hoff? Well, we've begun with the Stalingrad to Berlin campaign, so we are dealing with a situation in motion. It hasn't gone as I would have preferred. We're playing with the difficulty settings where the AI can move its forces freely, so that's been a little bit hard to really take into account. We're just trying to deal with the debacle around Stalingrad and get the rest of the 16th Army out, but I believe we can do that. I was trying to think how. So, I just need, if I can get this out of the way, that's going to allow some forces, not these forces, but some perhaps. I think what I want to go ahead and do then is, these guys are ready. Get them moving down there. That's going to allow me to at least move some forces. If I could have something that could move further, that'd be great, but I do not. Yeah, it's just going to be a case of getting things moving. If they could even move a hex, then that's worthwhile. If I could move more, that'd be great. But if I could try and get rid of... If I had these out of the way, or this out of the way, at least, that could be something. I do have Viking SS Panzer Grenadiers, which is something to work with. Okay, what I'm going to go ahead and do then is... Let's recognize this then. So I do have pressure over here, but we do have forces to move to contain that. These forces are going to be offloaded. And I need to go ahead and position divisions here as blocking forces, essentially. 5 and 8, okay. I need to hold the depot around here then to keep the actual freight, but as far as it goes, we do have more forces to play with, even these forces that are... there's some of them that are actually available. Some of them are still ready. Not amazing, but something. Right. I'd prefer really... They're in pretty good standing there, actually. Yes, we do have theatre control on. It's not really... I mean, I've said this a few times. It's not really a lack of men. It's a lack of freight. We've got the division sufficient. It's just obviously the geography and freight. The supply situation, essentially. Okay, what I'm going to go ahead and do here, then. I mean, the river isn't frozen yet. So it's still an obstacle there. The actual freight on the, yeah, like, regarding, like, the interior lines, it's actually pretty good. Like, we are blessed in the fact that we actually begin the game with all of this rail actually repaired, which is awesome. It means that we have everything good to go there. So our interior lines are actually pretty good. It's just, and as you can see, really, it's just the reality of the situation that freight is having to move, and you can definitely see the difference between the single gauge rails and the dual gauge rails. So, yeah, we're trying to rectify that. We do have a number of, like, depots along here. And in fact, I think I'd like to go ahead and build additional ones, really. It's tempting to kind of build one in almost every position I can along a dual line, or even a single line, really. The idea being that wherever freight can actually move, it's a good idea to help it move out that way. So if you can't move a full way, but it can move to a depot that's closer to the line, then that's something to work with. I don't know. Super depots won't really make that much of a difference. I mean, they'll certainly help, but they're not the be-all, end-all. Okay. There's not really a friend over here yet. I'm going to use a cavalry over here to keep that area. So the infantry division can move. They can move over here to the actual port of Azov, and then at least they can actually draw a pretty good supply from there. Do you have the Romanian mountaineers? They can move that way. And then the cavalry can hang around here then for the time being, and just try to maintain something of just, I don't know, force in this area. I could even have them split a bit of regiments, but honestly it doesn't make that much of a difference. I'll have them hang around the actual depot here to begin with. That wouldn't be a bad place to actually have another depot, in fairness. Just so then I can have something there. So that can hang there. This one can hang around here then. And it's going to go on to the actual depot in a second, in fact. Right, so I do have the 2 panzer divisions over here. One of them's in pretty good stand-in. One's, they're okay, I guess. What I need to go ahead and do then is have something to actually fall back to. There's not much pressure over here. Of course, it's all over here, then, so I need to deal with that. I know I can reconnect over here, which is a pretty big difference. I would like this out of the way. I have to say that. I do want to guarantee that's out of the way, but saying and doing is pretty considerably different here. I can have the 13th Panzer Division involved in that. They do have a lot of mobility, in fairness. Viking really is the big bruiser in this area, relatively speaking. Their morale's good. They're more or less well supplied. They don't have that much in the way of combat preparedness, but they don't have that much in the way of fatigue either. Yeah, exactly there, as you say there. Right, so divisions are unready. They can sort of linger around this area over here, then close to an actual depot. And close to essentially to where they can recover, but also be in a position to render aid. These divisions over here, their morale hasn't fallen. It's fallen to the national level now. They don't have a huge amount of actual active men, so I might be better off like double stacking them. But in fairness, well, they've got 180 in terms of squads there. It's 112, yeah. So I think double stacking them would at least give us something to work with. Like I could have them take a position over here, and at least that gives me something to work with. And I think that's probably not a bad idea. Yeah, their TOE is pretty bad, I do have to admit there. Which is why I'm going to have them double stacked, in fairness. At least then they'll have about the same as that one division. Morale's okay. Yeah. I have lowered the table of equipment across the entirety of the infantry forces to about 70% here. The reason for doing that was to just reduce the amount of freight that needs to move. The issue is I'm going to have issues from the winter. I'm going to have issues from well, friction, and obviously combat losses. I just don't want to be moving huge amounts of freight in the form of replacements, or at least drawing huge amounts of freights and using them. Fatigue's pretty rough, but in fairness, it's not that bad. You can tend to see pretty high fatigue. It does impact on how they perform, but 60 and yeah, 31's pretty good. 60 is about what you'd expect. Yeah, like 48 there. 47 there. Obviously, they've not been in a great situation. 38 there. It's not that far out of the realms of normality. Yeah, they're already, which is not good. Yeah, I just need to make sure that we have forces in place here. These guys being depleted. Yeah. I mean, they're down to 24 squads there. That's nowhere near enough. I could have them move to a depot, but I'm going to, in fact, just have them march as quickly and as far away as possible, really. These guys being ready is at least something that I can work with. So I'm going to have them move that way. Yeah, having men in the pool as well is pretty useful. Like, for example, if we take a look over here, then let me go ahead and production filter, I guess. So if I go into active pool, show types, and yeah, rifle squads. So we have 1,781 rifle squads in the pool there. If I take a look at transit pool, 1,975 are in transit. Which, I need to look into how the production system properly works. But I do believe that they're moving around the system, so they could be moving around theaters, they could move into the map. I'm not entirely sure, but in transit, I assume means that they're in transit somewhere. Who knows exactly. But that's what we have there anyway. Wait, that's cavalry. Oh, cavalry is also a thing to bear in mind too. Yeah, so this is like all pools, including active and transit. So there's 3756 over here. Yeah, which means that we do have a lot of floating manpower, effectively, that can be moved out. And what I'm going to go ahead and do is like have certain divisions have their TOEs brought up. And it also does it goes to such things as guns as well. Like, for example, because we've reduced the TOEs, that reduces the infantry, reduces cavalry, reduces pioneers, reduces labor, reduces support, reduces artillery. I was really getting into that there. I could have gone on to AA and even like AFVs, but yeah, it does help out. So if I take a look at what we have in terms of active pools, then yeah, there's like 1836 in the way of cavalry there. Cavalry is really quite cool. I do like cavalry. Cavalry divisions I could really probably bring up to scratch. I don't really have all that many, but there's not that many forces that use a lot of cavalry. Panzer Pioneers, interesting enough, I have that. They're pretty cool. And they do have the SD KFC 251. Interesting though with the picture there. I guess that's a representative fact that they would obviously be the ones there moving across the rivers and doing that sort of action, really. But let's see there. Artillery is one of those things that is in really high demand. That always will be in high demand. Oh yeah, there we go. That's cool. Yeah. So if I take a look at transit, okay, yeah, you can see there's quite a few guns. These are going to be the guns that are common to most of the divisions. We did make the changes to TOE a few turns ago, so there's got to have been some movement on that one. Okay. Unready is not good enough. Again, they can move that way. Okay. Now, of course, I do have a Slovakian mobile there, unless I can't move that much further. At least it does give me additional security out this way. Or in fact, I could have them potentially move there to the city. But I think they're fine. It's a hard one to say there, really. May even be worthwhile to keep them in position. Right, we have these forces here. Essentially what I'm trying to do here, then, is just have something that we can fall back to. That's the big idea. It's getting better. Little by little, really. The fact that we actually have men around makes a pretty big difference. Like, those divisions getting out of there makes a tremendous difference there. Because now I'm not in a situation where there's nothing behind us. There's not much behind us, but there's not nothing either. And I do have 3 Panzer divisions that I could shift out that way. I'm a little reluctant to do so because, again, I don't mind moving them to this area. That's fine. But I think while I can actually have them rebuild, that's probably not a bad thing to have. It's going to be quite rare. I'm going to go ahead and actually place them in refit, to be honest. I really wish I... Well, actually what I could go ahead and do then is move one of these divisions over here to Belgorod. And have a core brought over here, or some headquarters brought over here, which would help. But 2 would be great. Yeah. We'll see about that. That might be getting greedy, though. Though, in fairness, maybe... Yeah, maybe I do move... No, I can't, because this is where a lot of the freight... I really want to go down here, because you got the Free City Cluster. And that's really good, like... That's really quite cool for having, like... Oh, gosh, and there's so many cities around here to work with. So much to work with. Okay. I think I'm going to go ahead and try... It's a difficult one, really. But as long as we have sufficient forces actually stacked, I can make something of this. I do want to try and get more forces out over here. That's not going to be super easy, but if I could try and have something of a more effective line, that'd be good. The danger is going to be this area. I could try and create some holding strength over there, but yeah, there's not much. Over here, we can at least fall back. I think what I would go ahead and do is shift... I don't really need to hold this area per se. It doesn't really go against us to have it, but it's one of those of where I need to recognize the reality. I'm not very confident in these divisions here. I mean, this is clear terrain. It's not getting any better. Yeah, you can see the difference there, 5, 10. That's a pretty considerable difference. I think what I'd like to go ahead and do then is have this 2nd division over here, the 294th, which is actually in pretty damn good shape. At least then, I've got something there that's going to likely render this area at least viable, if you can say that. So we do have pressure here. We did shift forces around the area. I've still got a few shifts I need to do over this way. And redeployments out this way. But things are getting better. This is going to help us out to some extent, I would like to say. I'd like to go ahead and get additional construction battalions in these cores out this way and have them dig in. We're essentially just utilizing the actual terrain here against the enemy. Just buying ourselves really space. And there's additional divisions on top of these hexes in some places. The reason being that they would have moved out further, but they couldn't. So rather than having them move out somewhere that they can't help, they can at least move to somewhere they can help. So you get that 38 there. That's good. That is like, what, 76 construction value, rather than just having the single 38. And it makes for a much stronger position overall, really, and a position that's going to dig in that much faster. This can be dealt with over here. Forces moving out this way too. We actually did force some Soviets to capitulate this turn, yeah. So we managed to capture 31,000 this turn. So they're up to 115,000 so far. Not a huge amount, but the forces of nature are beginning to grind now. I was really tempted to have that move up further via rail, but I'm not going to do that. They have to walk like the rest of them. The reason being, if I don't walk them, I'm just creating additional problems on the actual rail. And that doesn't help me. So they're gonna walk. And it's like for the guys out this way. They're gonna walk to the front line. It's not ideal, I know. But I do not want to stress the rail lines any further. I mean, certain places it could be done, perhaps. But again, it's the opportunity cost of the freight that I move, or the load up from these lines. Like this one over here, it looks green, which obviously is green there. So you're like, oh, okay, it's not using all that much in the way of capacity. But it's still got 3855 on there. And I don't want to put additional on there. Oh, yeah. I mean, what I'm going to go ahead and do... I mean, they're high on fatigue. They will be rested at certain points, but at the end of the day, 2 more divisions isn't going to make the difference here. There will be time to move assets, but 2 divisions they're not going to make the difference out this way. Maybe they can to some degree there, really. But I've got plenty of divisions I'm moving in this area. We have enough divisions in this sense. It's just making sure that they're properly supplied, rested, and, well, fortified, really. That's all we need there. Okay, let's adjust the situation then. So, the remains over here. I just can't allow for them to be isolated, really. We do have that level 1 fort, which is actually pretty damn nice to have that. But they are a little bit spaced out. Which is not ideal. I mean, something I could even do is potentially place the 2 Romanian divisions on top of the German division there. And at least then I gain a little bit more mass there. I don't know if that'd be enough. Well, I do actually have the 13th Romanian division there, so at least that is a extra wild card here. That's some pretty good mass. 28 construction value is pretty nice there. What's their morale? 45. 45. Okay. 70. Okay. They have Panzerjäger. The town over here, yes. The cities down this way, yep. We'll try and hold them for sure. Right, so what I'm kind of thinking of doing then is I can go ahead and place 2 additional Romanian divisions on this. I could even place another division there, in fairness, and that may be worthwhile. Though, in fairness, I do have these forces here. So they can go there. They're kind of effed, but at least they'll soak up attention. This is not exactly ideal. Yeah, that attack there, I really could have done with it succeeding. I really could have done with those divisions not being rendered unready. That does not help my position in the least there. A Panzer division being at 6,000 men is just, it is not good. It's not good. Yeah. They can't move all that far. That's the problem. There's some difference here. There's some difference. Yeah, they have none of the tanks there. They've got the reconnaissance tanks though, so yeah. Cycling is an interesting one, really. And I get what you're saying there, but essentially what I need to do is I will have these panzers burn to ashes before I rotate them. I know that sounds kind of ridiculous, but the idea behind that is essentially there's no point throwing something onto the line or place it onto the line before it's actually fully rebuilt to the best of our ability that we can manage in that time. If we have to throw it on the line, we'll have to throw it on the line. But if I can get away with keeping them off as long as I possibly can, that's ultimately going to be worthwhile, because then I'm going to have a fresh division that is ideally going to be better able to handle the situation versus the, I don't know, more fatigued Russians, that sort of thing there, really. Exactly that issue. So I do want to try and get a headquarters out there to aid them. But, yeah, we'll see what we can do. But I think I will maintain these panzers while I can try and get these forces out. As we pull further out, as these forces are routed, things will change yet further, but we just have to work with what we've got. I do at least have Viking. Viking's going to likely move into this area over here, really. I mean, you can see the difference in terms of capacity. Like, they have defense value of 4 in the open plains as regiments. That's a shattered panzer division almost, but yeah, these guys are just... They can't be left. They're going to just get absolutely annihilated. And that doesn't help me. So instead, what they can go ahead and do then is just simply operate behind the line there. If I could move them, I would like to do that. And I do need to maintain the forts where I can get them. There's no defense out this way, and there's under control, but at least I got something there to try and ease the pain. Yeah. The 6th Panzer Division is actually the best thing I've got out here, and actually in really, really good shape, in all honesty, 6th Panzer there. I think it might have been 22nd Panzer Division, but there was a fresh Panzer Division alongside, or relatively fresh, and it was forced to retreat across the actual major river. So not only do you have the actual retreat attrition, you have, I think it's 3 times the retreat attrition when you are forced to retreat across a river. A major river, that is. And that's bad juju. That's real bad, especially in the winter. But yeah, that's not good. If you can ever force your opponent to retreat, make sure they retreat across a major river. It's going to really hurt them. Especially the armoured assets. But yeah, we've got sufficient forces. I've got 2 divisions over this way that can be moved up over this way. Even 3rd Panzer is in pretty good shape compared to others. So we can make this work. It's not going to be great, but we'll be able to hold something of a perimeter. Well, not really hold, but at least establish something that's not going to just fall over. It gives us time then to move additional forces, because there are additional forces on the way. We have the forces over here of the 17th Army, and what remains of the 1st Panzer Army down here in the south. We do have additional forces moving this way in some situation. The real point of pressure, the real point of worry for me isn't really here now. It's actually here in this area. The reason for that is that these troops are of dubious quality. Granted, they're dug in, which is great, but over here I've got some buffer space to work with. This doesn't really matter out here. Out here, they're moving into the secondary, well, into the dual rail line, which it renders this area significantly weaker. I lose that capacity. Granted, there is room behind here, but again, they're then moving into the actual interior lines and actually moving into my freight capacity there. It's not easy. In terms of air capacity, I've pulled off a lot of assets. A whole lot of assets have been pulled off. The reason being that at this moment in time, we do have blizzards. Yeah, so you can see here we do have blizzards in these areas. And that's a lot of snow. That's a lot of snow, people. Yeah, so you can see we have blizzard here. Now, the blizzard looks like it'll be moving to the north there. But for now, that's a lot of bad weather. That's not good. Yeah, exactly as you say, the Hoff. This area is not great for anybody, really. But they do have the rail line over here, so they could potentially connect. I was considering moving across there, but even then, I just don't think it's worthwhile. It'd be great to get that light woods, but still. Yeah, I'm gonna start eating those boots there. Yeah, slog indeed. Oops. Confused it with that one. Go ahead and just have the ground weather on. Okay. So I know I can get forces out of here then. Do I need to attack this at all then? It would actually be a pretty nice thing to do, I suppose you could say. Snowball fight. I want this gone. I really do. 11th Panzer there. Right, they'd move that way. They'd also kind of move that way. I'm going to go ahead and take... Oh, a bit hard to say that. Yeah, I want this gone. Just trying to think of what to use. We are in the second winter here of the war. It is a milder winter. The first winter was significantly harsher than the one that we're in now. And you do face additional rules there. The second winter is more mild, so we do benefit from that, but we're still dealing with winter, which is not great. Right, I think I will have the additional... God, it's nice to have that additional mobility, but it doesn't make a difference. Like, I'm not going to move in here. I just need to make sure that these troops actually are able to get out. And I'd rather have these forces actually move this way, around. because then I have the river to protect me. I'm not having to rely upon holding this area as much. Viking really represents a pretty significant asset for me here. Alright, let's go ahead and make this a reality then. I know it sounds ridiculous, but I need to make sure it works. I need it. I need it to work. They'd be great to move over there. Okay. Yeah, no shame in victory. There's only shame in defeat, though. Right. They should surely be defeated this time. I hope. Okay, good. Yeah, okay, we didn't take any additional losses. Thank God for that. There is a God. Right, and we've still got good mobility here, then. That's great news. Yeah, that... small victories add up. They really do. Pathetically small victories, but still important ones nonetheless. God, that was important. That was ridiculously important. I feel really, yeah. Okay. Okay. These forces, let me see what... I'm going to connect up and just see if that aids us at all. If that gives us any additional movement. Doesn't seem like it. Well, I'm going to go ahead and do then. I've got to make sure I have a division here first before I move anything. Just to make sure that we can do so. Now there's one there. We'll move things down. Those poor, poor Croatians. The armor has to come first. I can't lose armor divisions. Well, I mean, I can lose them. I could quite easily lose them, but you know what I mean. I don't want to lose them. Okay, I can't move now. I can move there. Right. They're in pretty good, well, relatively good standing. These guys are actually relatively good. Okay, they moved there. Yeah, I think we will be able to get them out in one way or another. Yeah, I know, right. Yeah, those are lone guns. At least they have some fortifications here to work with. Those men being unready is not going to help them, but not anything I can do about that. At least I can move them on top of each other, and that at least helps. There's not really yeah, they're not going to easily get out of this. It's going to be painful. So, in all honesty, I probably want to move here. Because there's 20... I don't know. It doesn't really make that much of a difference, does it? It's going to be bad. It's going to be bad. Okay. I may do that, and that gets them out of the way. This division here, it's as long as I can get out, that's the thing. They just need to be able to get out. If I could actually have that off the side, I'm good. 27 there. Yeah. Being on the other side of the river does help. Well, I mean, this is it. There's nothing that can be done about this. It's about as good as it gets now. Right. I just need to try and create a defense there. I could pull back from this position And then reinforce, which is good. I just need to be on the other side of the river there, really. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and do what I was on about earlier, though. So they can go there, gives us that. They can go over here. Okay, so they do have the benefit of the fortifications, which is really nice. Then, it's difficult really because I don't have all that much to work with. And this is inevitably going to fall out this way. Not all that much I can do about that. Yeah, we'll address that situation. Likely just retreat to some extent. I could move a division out here to at least cut... cut those guys off. Excuse me. Doing that thing they call choking on air. Okay. I am umming and ahhing about attacking there, but I think it's worthwhile doing. And I could just pull that straight out, but if I can get this out of the way, it does make it easier for us. 21. It looks good. It looks good. Viable, even. 13. Okay, we'll try. Yeah, I guess we'll try. Please work. Not gonna work. Is it gonna? Yes, works. Oh, fuck for that. Oh, they took a lot of losses there. That's pretty good. Oh, thank God for that. It does mean I can get that core out, which is good. That one, not so much. Well, yeah, what I'd really want to do is like try and hold this area. I mean, we could move up there, but I just want to make sure I can hold this area. I don't want to move any closer, yeah. I just want to give them the availability, the opportunity to get out, I suppose you could say. As long as they have their rear covered, then I can work with that. I think it'd be worthwhile to push the Romanians out this way then, just to give us a little bit more buffer room, perhaps. But even then. Let's see. 5,000. It's not a lot, is it? But oh, there's more. I need to try and double. Ooh, yeah. It's not ideal. Okay. Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, I can imagine. So I could relocate that. Okay. Thankfully, I can have these panzer divisions here to try and hold this area. I mean, this is it. I'd like to have... maybe it's worthwhile to have something there. Yeah, I guess I can afford that now. What I think I'm going to go ahead and do is have them there. But then again, it might be worthwhile to hold that for now. We can still get out, but if I leave there, then I leave another hex where we have space to move and breathe. So what I'm going to go ahead and do then is get the headquarters moving, so that can move there, so that's the furthest it can move. But then these fellows can also move further south then. And then they're effectively free, as are these guys. Yeah. This headquarters here. But what I can do is move out there. That's a pretty damn good panzer division here. Even a regiment pushes out zone of control. And that's pretty important to have. I know, the cores are nasty. I mean, where we look for that, yeah, that 27 there one's pretty rough. And then obviously that one there too. Yeah, it's why I'm placing strength here. Like, I'm going to have these forces move. Just trying to figure out how I want to do it. At least if I have a river that is some small defensive asset. Not much, but something. What I want to kind of do is just like... I don't want to overcommit to this area. Effectively, what I need to do is... They're going to route out of here. I don't need to hold like some sort of salient. I just need to make sure that they can at least get the hell out. That's the idea, really. But I also need to make sure that this area doesn't collapse either. I just need these to get out. A reinforcement would be nice out here, and I may bring that division down this way. I think I probably will. I mean, there's going to be issues here, but we'll figure that out. Let's move them there. That's a pretty decent position there. It just means that I have something to act as a keystone. I am thinking about maybe just, yeah, I guess I think I'd be best just moving there, really. Yeah. It's a shame, but as long as I can maintain something, I don't know. We might have something. They've got 14 there, which is decent, so I don't know. Here's another story. But again, I can't leave men in here to be attacked by a corps. If they're on their own, they're going to get hurt. They're just going to get hurt no matter whichever way we look at it, really. This means that I have the Viking to actually establish a position here properly, and then that gives us some stability. It gives us something to play with. So they can go there, reinforce our position then. That gives us some stability there, 22, 18. That gives us something there. This is like all weak as hell. But there's only a division there, and zone of control is at least something that can keep them busy. I would love to have more out there, must admit. But we're pulling out, not going in. Got a call there. Who are you gonna call? Right, 6 armies obviously overwhelmed. Beauties, I can now go ahead and we'll have them attach to the local army group in the area. Where is the... Oh, it's actually going to be A then, isn't it? Yeah, so army group A. A for effort. Yeah, they can go under the command of army group A for the time being. What the fuck is army group A? Am I blind? Oh, there we are. Yeah, they can go under the command of army group A. A for effort. Reduces a command strain upon the 16th Army. Pretty considerably then. Those forces are going to go ahead and head back in there to, well, towards you know, to recover. It's not going to help them, but it's not going to hurt them that much more anyway. Okay. Now there you go, you can see that these 6 armies are relatively fine now. That makes me all kinds of uncomfortable. Now I'm going to keep the 1st Panzer Army headquarters there, just to make sure we have it. Well, then again, maybe I want to have that moved down here to Rostov or out this way. Capacity is king, really. If an issue, I am pretty bad for that. Yeah. So I need to be within 15 hexes, so I'm just within range there. Right, what I'm going to go ahead and do is that can move over there to Rostov. First Panzer Army can actually move closer, but it can move up over this way. That helps to improve the capacity there and there. Okay. And I could go more and more into things here, but I think for the most part I'm sufficiently happy to go ahead and end the turn, and then we can have a quick turn resolution. I don't know if they're streaming after me. I really don't know. In fact, you know what? Let's go ahead and shift that, in fact, back there. And I'm going to go ahead and get that additional division there. Let's have you on to command a 6 army then, I guess, while you're here. This area is going to come under threat anyway. I just need to maintain what I have rather than what I want. If I go like that, then at least that causes them a mild issue. That mild issue is actually pretty annoying now. I kind of regret that in a sense, but okay. Yeah, there's not much way I can put my bread bed to make it look any better. Yeah, that's going to be one of those situations of where there's not a damn thing you can do. Okay. This is a rough one. Okay, they can go there temporarily, just to try and bring that number up. Not especially happy. This is a real issue. Yeah. I can't really abandon the forts there. That's the problem. This is a big issue. Okay. You know, I just can't. I can't accept a situation where it's just as I said earlier. Like, yeah, it's going to be difficult, but it's under control there. It's under control there. That's fine. I can't have it any other way. Granted, I lose that, but it's just they'd be weaker anyway. There's just simply reality of that situation there. And no damn thing I can do about that. I'm going to have that cavalry in the city there. I really do not trust the situation without anything to actually hold said city. They can go there. Yeah, the line's porous. Yeah, not great. But that's better. That's significantly better. That's a free-flowing core. Hell to the yeah. Well, let me go ahead and double check if anybody's after me. Oh no, nobody's after me then it seems. Okay. So, yeah, we'll just go a little bit longer then, and then we can have a turn resolution. I don't think anybody's after me, like, but I think we should be okay. So, yeah, we can have that then. They can be assigned to these guys. Oh, yeah. Ideally, they're within range. Oh, yeah, they're just within range there. Okay, so that means that all in the cities there, they have a HQ there to actually benefit them. They can go over into here. That certainly doesn't help. They need to go into refit. They can certainly move here then. Yeah, so that's probably about as good as it gets then for the most part. I'll go ahead and just take a look at the reserve, and then we'll go ahead and resolve said turn. Right. They're looking good. They can have a maximum of 40 though. Yeah, tell me about it, Hoff. The big Hoff. Well, I mean, this is it. It's like I'm relying on zone of control to really make it work. I do have at least something to move in the area. But at the end of the day, I've just got to accept that really, well, if they move there, that's under control. If they move there, that's under control. Granted, it's not perfect, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to get perfect. I tell you what, in fact, can I break that into regiments? I can, thank F for that. So that's not a bad thing to actually have there. At least then I have some sort of, like, additional zone of control projection there. Okay. Yeah. I mean, we will have additional forces able to move along here as we go on, so that's okay. Just have you reassigned for now. There we are. Yeah, we're getting there. We are getting there. I do hope that these panthers recover some good way. Oh yeah, there's also that one. Might as well put that refit. Yes. I'm surprised that they're not actually a support unit, I must admit. So they are kind of weird. But they, I don't know. They're just 2,000 men. Granted that, I don't know, it's, I'm just wondering if I'd get maybe more out of them by placing them in reserve, or like maybe like placing them in Western Europe, perhaps. It's 2,000 men is not a lot of men. They have great morale, but it's still 2,000 men. I can't do anything with them this turn, but I think I'm going to have them sent back to Western Europe. I'd hope that I could have... Well, to Western Europe. I hoped I could have actually made them into support unit. Maybe next turn. Maybe because they've just arrived this turn, but I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens. Because I really want them to be a reserve unit. Well, that's what I thought. Support unit, I should say. I thought they were a support unit. But then I couldn't make them a support unit, so maybe next turn they could be a support unit. Ideally. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we have over here. Right. So we do have the 502nd Heavy Panzer Battalion. And I also do have the 503rd. I'm going to try and concentrate them where I can. Let's see. Heavy, right. Where's the third one? Not sure. These guys are recovering here. Yeah, I know, right? Where is that Tiger company? Are they due to arrive this coming turn? Oh, they'll arrive on turn 8 then. Okay, so they're coming from North Africa, that's why. And then turn 14 we get 504th Heavy Panzer, then turn 17. Yeah, essentially I'm going to try and collect the Panzers and concentrate the Panzers. And have them really... Just wherever the enemy is going to be moving through with lots of armor, is just concentrate them there. And just really have them try and utilize in that way. I think they're one of those things where they're a tremendous asset, but I see them really as just effectively the Pack 43, but it's armored, you know? It's armored, and it's more mobile. But it's still an anti-tank gun, really, more than anything else. Okay, so... let me get these moved. This is going to be rough. Maybe in fact I'm going to go ahead and move that out that way. Yeah. Ah. There we are. Yeah, so we'll see what I can do. Oh, I also do have a Slovakians, don't I? That doesn't hurt, actually, to have that. Aye, so it'd be quite good, to be honest, having them concentrated like that. Okay, so we'll go ahead and yeah, just see how it goes. I mean, frankly, the turn before didn't go as badly as it could have gone. This one, we'll see how it goes. I think we're in a much better position than we were last turn. I think the fact that we do have the additional divisions to work with, just the ones that actually got out there, just it makes a tremendous difference. It really makes a tremendous difference. You can see there then, we have mud. Okay, that's interesting. Mud would shut down the entire theatre, which is great. I could definitely work with that. By the way, if you guys are enjoying the stream tonight, that is awesome. You can find my channel over on YouTube at XTRG. I'm going to go ahead and have the video posted up there in the near future as well, actually. So you'll be able to keep up with the series and see what has happened before, and likely what will happen after this episode. I believe I'm streaming more on the East next week, but I'll probably have a stream before that. So yeah, if you could go and head over there, that'd be awesome. Okay. I could have done a lot more with regarding support units, but I'm being frankly lazy on those. Yep. Come on. It's definitely, it's quite a different situation. I think it's this hex or this hex. I think it's that hex that has, like, okay defensive capability, or defensive values. Yeah. The good news is we've been able to link up with them again. That makes a big station. Big station? It's because I was reading Chur Station, thinking that's an interesting name. I meant big difference. Okay. Pen's going to begin in a short second. We are using version 1.0214, by the way. Okay. Yeah, so you can see that they are moving now. And it's to be expected with these lines being porous. We'll see about that there. Yeah, they're in Ev now, okay. I was disappointed to see that Osnesh fall. I must admit that one. No flights on our side here. Yes, I am using the flag mod. I have a couple mods actually installed. Okay. I do find it, I find it really quite amusing that we have the Luftwaffe forces holding Oranienbaum perimeter. That's a lot of air power. Okay. They took fairly heavy AFB losses there. The Volkov's so good for just taking out enemy forces, but it's a zero-sum game because it can quite quickly go wrong. Now, we do have our other Focke-Wulf squadron in the reserve. I'm waiting for it to receive additional aircraft, and then I'm going to have it brought to the map. Then we'll have, I think we might have about 5 Focke-Wulf on for the A5 squadrons, or A4 squadrons, something like that. So, artillery. Ooh, they're going to go back. Yeah, okay, Romanians. Oh, I thought it was a Panzers there for a second. But it's They're the other Romanians. Okay. I don't want them to displace those headquarters. Oh, that's not gonna go well. Okay, they retreat rather than rout. Wow, 242 tanks. Holy shit. Okay. Rout. Rout, you beautiful sons of bitches. No, don't. Fuck. Well, at least they moved from... Oh, shit. Is that a route? That's a route. Okay, that's good. Okay. Talk about out of the... pan and into the fire. God, are they actually going to hold that? Okay. Route! Route! God damn it. I need them to route, but okay. Oh, okay, thank you. Arigato gozaimasu! Oh god, please route. If you don't route, you're pretty screwed, man. Please route. Please route. Oh, don't hold! Don't hold! Almost there, Sarge. Okay. Shit. Okay. God damn it, they were too strong for their own good. They didn't do bad there, inflicting losses on the enemy, I must admit. Yeah, no, that's the problem there, Hoff, is like, yeah, that kinda ironically seals their fate. Indeed, poor bloody infantry. Oh no, they've had enough. They've had enough. Well, those headquarters, well, that headquarters routed, but those headquarters routed. God damn it. Well, displaced, I should say. Hate when that happens. Oh, that's nasty. Yeah, there. Ah, damn it. I really wanted those divisions out. I don't know, maybe we can BS our way through. We do have some force. Maybe there's a hope. There's a lot of Soviets in that area, goddamn. That's not looking good. We do clutch it. My god, that was a big attack. Yeah. So this is a problem. This is the theatre as well. This is a front that you have to worry about. Is the Orel curse front. It's all clear. It's all terrible. Oh god, these are... See, this is why... like, granted it's a porous front, and yes, they will move through, but this is why I've stacked the divisions. Because you have no cover. You might as well try and fill what you do have with more men, if that makes sense. Yeah, tell me about it. It's holding for now, but the fact that that went from 3 to level 1 fort says everything you need to know there. And this is the difficulty as well, is the fact that the AI is able to move its men at will. Yeah, so they're pushing in there, but can deal with that. There's a lot of additional divisions I can move down from here shortly enough towards around Kursk. They've taken a fair few losses this turn, though. I mean, as have we, but... Yeah, I need to destroy that core there. Yeah, they took Lasma there, moved up to the new front. Okay. It's gone better. I mean, I would have ironically preferred everybody to have routed outside from the Stalingrad area. But they did better than you could have imagined, and it's ironically going to kill them. So you're like, damn it. But I mean, I'm quite glad that I did double stack the forces around the Kursk line there. There's just so many Soviets. Okay. That's... I don't know if there's a way out. We'll try. Maybe they just round out anyway. But if I could try and open up a line, that'd be great. Oh, they're full aim supply in there. That's not great. We do have some BF-109 G2s incepted and some flak. How'd I lose freaking 3 BF-1s? Damn it. Oh, they got hurricanes, that's why. I did send a number of actual BF-109s to Italy, in fact. Okay. Went relatively well. I mean, yeah, the Soviets have been preoccupied with reducing Stalingrad. Again, the losses aren't great, but at least the divisions get out. They can be recovered. Yeah. Could really do with like some heavy forts there. It's tempting to in fact hold. I think I probably will hold that hex, perhaps due to the fact that it's a level 4 and swamp. It's like, yeah, well, that's pretty good. I can't really get level 4s myself now. So I can build up a level 3 in the swamp as well, that'd be nice. But I guess we'll see. Okay. So, losses about on par with what we had beforehand, really. Let's go ahead and take a look up here then. So, Axis air success in North Africa. Okay, nice. Huh. Oh, that's really handy, man. Yeah. Nice. That's, yeah. Yeah. Damn it. Oh, tried so hard. God damn, that fort, it can't be real. They came to attack quite a lot. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what's thinking there, Sarge. Oh, they move forward. Oh, wow. How did this actually... did alright, in fact. I might be able to deal with that. And I should be able to deal with that. Would be okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at the losses of the Soviets here. Yeah, they lost 105,000 men there. That was pretty beefy for them. 925 AFVs. Soviet action phase. So... it's one of those, isn't it? Like, yeah, so they lost 704 AFVs there. A pretty big turn there in terms of like losses. Obviously ours are steadily increasing, but it's not escalated like wildly. Not ideal though. This over here means that I don't know. I mean, I might be able to attack that, but again, you can see here. I mean, if we look during the actual turn, they counter-attacked by 108,000 men. They did very well to hold there. And they really had pretty minimal support. This is why I wanted to double stack them. They barely held on there, but they did hold on, and they inflicted... Yeah, they destroyed, 6,676 casualties there. Only 116 guns, but they only lost 2 guns. They took relatively low casualties there for the slaughter they inflicted. Destroying practically 100% of the AFVs thrown against them. They did a damn good job there. They did a damn good job. And those are well-supported assets there. Yeah, then there again. They did phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. But the issue is their position's just... It's hard to say. Is it untenable now? I bet their morale went up. Yeah, look at that. Wow. I don't know what it was beforehand, but I wouldn't be surprised if my morale went up after having something like that. Yeah. The difficulties, again, is just like, yeah, this position becomes more and more difficult to hold on to, but I do have some leeway here. It's funny though, isn't it? It's just like they vanish into the night. And we had 108,000 men attack here, and it's like the divisions that actually instigated the attack seemingly have disappeared. Like, where's the 28th Guard Rifle Corps? Let's see. Yeah. Is it even here? I don't even see the 28th Guard Rifle Corps anymore. So that's the difficult thing there to have to deal with, is that these forces can and will move. I'm just going to destroy that rifle corps there. Love that, level 5. Yeah, so they managed to dig into some extent here. Not that much progress made here in the swamp, which makes sense. Water level makes a pretty big difference. Note that the rivers are freezing in this area now. Not ideal. And over this way. I do worry about this. What was that? Looks like a 34. Oh no, that's not a 34. That's a bit bigger than. Have they moved additional forces in there? Well, I mean, I said as much like in the one of the earlier streams that you can attack across here. You can attack across into Leningrad on the first turn. Really, you're probably gonna be able to do that quite well. I didn't want to do that because I thought it was a bit like felt a bit strange. But I've been building up forces now, so I could try and do something. Just giving them that time to rest. If the river could freeze, that would be fantastic. I can't recall if the river does freeze here. Yeah, just trying to build up strength, really. I had these forces digging over here into the... Well, I'm using the Jaeger division here to dig in the heavy woods so I can have a pretty good position to work with. I was going to do it there too. Oh, excuse me. But one division at... Well, one position at a time, really. Though in fairness, I guess I don't know. Try and hold it, I guess. Yeah. Digging into the heavy woods there would be great. Swamp would be great there. The level 4 is fantastic. There's one division on each there. A bit sufficient. How did they do? Yeah, there we go. So they took us a replacement, so which is good. I don't know what they were at beforehand. I would have to check that. But they look to be in a better state. Obviously, they've had some time to rest there too. Yeah, rest is very, very important. Yeah, they got some freight there for replacements. Men are relatively light. I wish I could see exactly what they did get, and I have to check that beforehand, I guess. See down this way. So they did get some replacement there, 82. The good news is at least while they're in the city, they're not taking the winter attrition. They can also dig in the city while they are there. And like even these units over here at Kharkov, they can start digging Kharkov's fortifications, which is something. It looks like they were moved. I think I forgot to move them or something. I forgot now. Or maybe they were like that anyway. But it doesn't look like I'd leave them like that. Oh, I think they were here and I forgot to move them. Let's take a look over here then. Not as much as I would have imagined, in fact, but I guess this is because of the... Yeah. Well, at least they're not taking too much, but they are recovering slowly, very, very slowly, but at least they are recovering. I don't mind them actually digging that in there, to be honest. Yes. Yep. It looks like they're switching focus over this way. There's so many there. Take a look at the OOB then. Damn. Our numbers haven't changed all that much. We had about 3 million active before, really. So it's not changed all that much. The Soviets, though, yeah, they have a whole hell of a lot of men. But in fairness, they have seen their active strength, well, their total strength there. I mean, it's been diminished to 6.169, so closer to 6.2, but still. It is hurt them. Quite a lot of strength there. Okay. I thought I could turn them into support unit there. I don't know. I thought they were, but apparently not. Yeah, it's getting there. They just need to dig in where they can. Right, they need to deal with that, but I can at least shift some divisions around them. I'm going to have like an armored core out here too. Out this way. I mean, they've had the tremendous opportunity to be able to rest. Like, a lot of these divisions that haven't been in, like, well, haven't been actually faced with the enemy. They've had a really good opportunity to rest, like, actually have a good proper rest. It means that they can build up combat preparation, and just, in general, they're going to function a hell of a lot better by having that opportunity there. I do need the forts over here dug as quickly as possible. There's actually not that much in the way of strength. I mean, like a position over here, it's something to be said to actually have them attack into that position and actually try and rout a division. Or force them back, you know, while they're just so weak, really. So that does help. That's pretty good on defense there. A couple of these divisions, like essentially the 4th Army is going to have to hold this area. I'm going to have to try and manage this. I do have the forces over here to force them back, which is good. Try and inflict some losses here. really, it's this central area that is under threat, but like over here I could attack that route, that would be nice. We can see that they are pushing their way through here, but there's ultimately not that much I can do about it. I'm just really glad. Well, I mean, I still have that level 3 fort there, which is quite nice to actually still retain. There's just not much I can really do with it, but that could change, really. I may have to pull these... I'm probably going to have to pull them back. I can't really stop the flow of men here. We'll have to try and position ourselves here. But even then, it's just clear terrain. But I need to stop them on their approach to Kursk. At least these men are... Like, some of them are ready now. Yeah, like, they have begun to take on some replacements. What I'm going to have to do is essentially take these, like, Shattered Divisions and Shattered Legions. Take the Shattered Legions. There we go. I knew it was going to come in eventually, the name of the series. But eventually I will have to take these Shattered Legions and essentially move them in such a way as they can actually establish positions behind the flimsy front line, but also that they can recover too. But yeah, there we are. So, thank you very much for watching. Oh, we'll check on it down here. Wow, it's like a tide. At least it held my copper. It is like a tide though, my gosh. Nasty. I wish I could have a couple more of these Hungarian divisions there. Yeah, I know, it would have been good had we had them all escape, because it would have made things far simpler. Oh, hey. Yeah, they can shift out. They can push up this way, then at least I'll have some fresh divisions, or relatively fresh divisions to work with. I mean, I've got the 3 Panzer divisions over here, but again, I'm going to try and rest them as long as I can. I'd rather have something fit for combat rather than barely fit to stand in the line burn, really. So yes, thank you very much for watching, ladies and gents. If you would like to go ahead and subscribe to my channel, that'd be fan-david-ozy. That would be great. I'm going to go ahead and post a link there. And I shall see you all in the future. Thank you. I Jane. Bye for now.